Hey everybody, welcome back to CKGFMYFT2YFTHYS 696.5 FM. Thanks for tuning in again. We just had a great live performance from a local rock band called The Dead Rocks. Not the best name in the world, but it's something that's going to do. But hey, we got a special segment for you tuning in here. It is a psychic who said he has predicted 9/11, Benghazi, as well as the Trump election. Welcome here. It's Kham? Is that right?
Yes, it's Kham. Kham.
Right.
That is right. I am that guy I am that psychic who predicted all that stuff.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. And where do you find you get your predictions from?
Kham. It's pretty simple. Where do I get my inspiration from? I feel the power of the world. I feel it.
Yeah, right.
I feel it breathing.
Yeah, that's great. Do you have any predictions coming up for us? Maybe what's going to happen for the rest of the year with all this nonsense going on a daily basis?
Oh, this will never stop. However, I do have to say, in celebrity deaths. Now, this is going to be...
What do you got for us?
I don't want to dive... I don't want to say too much. But let's just say the cast of Ocean's 13 may look more like the cast of Ocean's 4.
All right, for all you movie reference guys, that could mean a lot, but to me that means nothing, so we're going to cut this segment short. Coming up next, a man who says his monkey is his fiancé. Stay tuned.
They said I can't marry my monkey. I want to marry my monkey.
All right, we're going to cancel that one short, too. Next up, we have sorry, Tim. He got to start bringing me a better guest. Coming up next, a new song by R. Kelly. And then hit it.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But I did it. And you know I did it. But I didn't do it.
Continuing
tonight on 2 C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your...
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's just like 2 C's in a pod, because we're 2 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com. What a fantastic new, what was happening over there, Cam? We gotta stop letting the early morning guys kind of take up some time on the show, because that
is trash.
For some reason, our frequencies are getting mixed up with the morning guys, and they sometimes operate a little section of our show. We gotta figure this out with the heads of the network, which is us. The heads of the network, of course, the 2 Season of Pod network and podcast and radio show delayed on demand. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Cameron Osborne, and I'm sitting across the way here in the 2 Season of Pod studios with my friend Cam LeClaire.
It's pronounced Kham.
Yeah, weird. I've never had somebody not be able to pronounce their own name or something, but that was weird. That was a weird one. We'll figure out what those morning guys doing. Weird. They have psychics on their show playing new R. Kelly. I didn't know R. Kelly was making music still.
Is he in jail?
I feel like he's not. But he definitely should be. But you know how it goes with those celeb types.
Yeah, they seem to weasel their way out of a lot of things.
Right under the they weave in and out. Matthew Broderick.
Bill Cosby's in jail though, right?
That's 100%. But it's probably one of those like not. It's not like you're getting
It's not like a drop the soap jail. I think it's like he's fucking like 90 and he's just old and isolated, like that kind of thing. I got like a pepped up jail.
What do you mean a pepped up jail?
Like it's not like Bill Cosby isn't in a prison bar cell with the
Right.
like the shitty stainless steel open toilet so everyone can watch you dump. Little single cot bed. Like he's not in jail prison or movie prison. He's probably in, he sleeps on a decent sized bed. Of course he doesn't have any visitors or he's still locked up or, he can't leave the facility.
You don't think he has visitors?
Or yeah, you can be allowed to visit. I don't know who's I'm sure he's got kids who probably visit him. But yeah, it's not like he's still locked away in a jail. It's just like a nice jail.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, there's all private facilities up in the or down in the States. So
Exactly. You pay a little bit of money, next thing.
Cash.
Exactly, because Bill Cosby would not survive in a Shawshank-style prison. That just couldn't happen.
Still got to watch that one. Heard good things
Heard good things, Cam.
about Shawshank Redemption.
Of course.
Gonna put that one on the list. Might take a bath right after this podcast and just watch Shawshank Redemption.
This is old. This is old. The old slobs know that, Cam, you do really enjoy taking a bath while watching a movie.
Yeah, it's the best.
This is we've definitely I forgot this juicy nugget of information. Are you still doing it? What was the last movie you watched?
I've been again, movies aren't my strong suit because the time that it takes to watch them. I'll typically watch an episode of television or something in the bath, also because it gets too cold in the bath.
Yeah, my next question would be, if you're watching a 2.5 hour long movie, you're going to have to drain the tub and refill. You're going to be fairly waterlogged at the end of this, at the end of the journey.
Yeah, so you can't really do it. You can do 40% of the movie before you have to make an executive decision.
And that would still be well over an hour.
Depends on the movie. I've tried to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood twice or three times now, and haven't gotten very far.
All 3 times in the bathtub?
No,
Oh.
I think most of the time it's like
So you think
it's just 9 o'clock at night normally, and that's just pushing it. I know it's a recipe for disaster.
That's a bad time to start a movie. That one's on you, I gotta say.
Yeah, I just fill up my day too much, and then by that time, that's why.
What if you watch it in chunks?
I've thought about that. I don't know, but you've recommended against that.
I'm sure I have, but you know what? That's
It sounds like we're not getting any other way.
Sounds like you're not gonna make it through Once Upon a Time in Hollywood without cutting it off into chunks, because
maybe I'll.
Are you starting at the same point? Like, you're starting at the beginning every single time?
Twice, yeah.
Oh my god! See, so I feel like you've watched enough of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that would have been the entire length of the film, but because you watched the first part, then you watched the second part, or whatever it is. There is a website that exists that I have no idea what it's called, but it's like user-generated information about when the best time to take like a washroom break at the movie theater would be if you're watching a movie. So it would say.
So do you have to keep like a timer on you then?
The way the website describes it, it would like describe a scene in the movie, and they'd be like, after this person says this line, or after this event takes place, there is like a minute and a half of just you're traveling through the country or something. Yeah, exactly, something that you'll miss this, but then you'll figure it out by the time you get back.
Yeah, it's always like that 90 minute mark in a movie. You're like, let's take a step back here. You're telling me the president of Uganda called the president of our local Catholic group, and now we have to travel to Venezuela to capture this diamond? What's going on here?
Wow.
And it just summarizes the whole plot.
What a plot that would be. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Was this an A-Team movie? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but you can watch for that in movies, and it will happen where it's just that point where it's like, okay, settle down here, everybody. It's like the person, it's like, you're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but here's what we've been through for the last X amount of time in the movie.
Right. Okay. So you're saying surmising the information just before they give it to you at the end.
Anyways, in other news, Doug Ford came to my office yesterday or on Friday.
Oh, that's fun. Tell us about it.
So. Oh, gross.
Jesus.
I've had a few beers today.
Jesus Christ, listeners, apologize for that sort of behavior. You don't see Kim Mitchell. You don't see Kim Mitchell. Belching on the air. Say what you will about those morning guys. They're dumb, but they would never make little noises on the microphone.
No, they wouldn't. So I apologize to the listeners and all the anti-belchers out there.
And anti-belchers. Cover it up. I'm an anti-belcher. Yeah, I said it. I said it.
I said it. Can we go back to the time that we were at a beach and then Cam yelled out very loudly, "Fuck Ben Roethlisberger"? Yeah, I said it. Fuck Ben Roethlisberger. While children were walking by and their parents looked at us and then turned around and left the beach.
Okay, first of all, in my defense, I didn't see the children arriving. I think the quote was. I think the exact quote was. Like I forget what it was. I forget what it said. It wasn't quite what you said, but that was to the effect of it. I don't mind saying that. I don't mind saying. I think
around kids.
No, not around kids. I felt rude about that because certainly like you don't want to swear around youngsters. I think I had to. I think I had to tame the mouths of a few of our employees over our corporate retreat because sometimes you're in public and it's just like just don't swear. Just don't swear.
Some people did get back to me and said there was too much yelling on the corporate retreat podcast.
A lot of there was multiple instances where they wanted to unionize. Of course, those had to be silenced. I think the quote was, "I don't want to be the one to say this," or "I'm just gonna say it." Fuck.
I'm just gonna say it.
I'm just
gonna
say it.
Fuck
Ben Roethlisberger.
Fuck Ben Roethlisberger.
I don't know.
That's right. I said it. Fuck Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a warm up to it, but I like to think that a concerned parent who, if you heard, a man in his mid to late 20s scream that from the water, I would think that the father, you should agree. Like that's something you got to agree with, right?
I think maybe they should double down and be like, I think we should stay at this beach.
Like this is a teaching moment.
Like,
exactly. These are clearly good people because
these are our kind of people.
Exactly.
I feel the same way. It's a big New York Giants fan or something like that.
It could be that, right? Or even just it could be as simple as the child asking like, Daddy, who's Ben Roethlisberger? And there's the teaching moment.
I diverge. Doug Ford.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about him.
Yeah, and I think there's a teaching moment there. Back to Douglas Ford. So he came by the office. Everyone that I told to ask me like, ask him this, ask him that. They're all like, tell him to investigate 411. I'm like, I'm probably not gonna get the chance to talk to him.
and that's not gonna be the top of a provincial premier's list.
If I did, here's my
how many towers fell on 9/11, Mr. Ford?
Because most people think it's 2.
Because I heard that it's not 2. I heard it was another number.
So my real question to him is what I would like to ask. I never got the chance to. I should have asked it because I did get one brief moment with him. He passed by. He said, "How you doing?" And I said, "Doing well." And that was the extent of our interaction.
So
he'll remember me. And so what I should have asked him is I said, Mr. Ford, last week you made it Provincial Fishing Week where all fees were loosened and you were allowed to fish for free in Ontario. During that week, I went to 3 separate lakes at Algonquin Park and wasn't able to catch one fish. Where are the fish? Is what I should have asked him.
Yes, where are the fish? Where are the fish? Where are the fish? What happened
where
to the fish?
Where are the fish? Where's the cover-up? Who's hiding the fish?
I didn't know that this went so high up.
This one's high up. Yeah. So someone's hiding fish.
So you think the fish have been removed because they saw something?
Do I think? I think there's evidence. I think there's evidence supporting that.
Mm-hmm. Now, do we think there's anything between this and the fish being missing and the buck of beer like that Compliments brand buck of beer that nobody was going to buy.
for a
Nobody
week.
was going to buy in the first place. I see.
I could say there's definitely coagulation between those two things.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that's interesting. I'm not too sure. And that's interesting because I also heard a report that on 9/11 there was a third tower.
Did you hear about this? Did you know this?
And when they uncovered the remains, the entire basement level of the floor, like the foundation, was all fish. It was all fish.
I heard that too.
And
I heard they were unlabeled too.
That was 19 years ago.
Where are the fish, Mr. Ford?
Where are the fish? I don't know.
So when he was at my office, he was doing his local briefing, like his daily briefing, as you see on the news every day, from my office, which was pretty cool.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Wait, you're back in the office these days?
I went back for last Friday because they said I get
it.
They were like, we want some top performers of the company to show up. We want the best and the brightest. We can't have everybody, but
you told
probably
them.
the best looking ones. And I'm like, I'll take it. So yeah, they invited me in. It was probably like 12 of us, and we got there. He showed up around 12:30. Walked around. He got 8 minutes of time with my CEO. I don't know if that's confidential, but I don't think our listener range is that crazy.
I don't know. There's going to be a lot of tags. If you're listening to this around your Alexa or Siri or around one of those devices, there could be some targeted ads coming your way. Targeted articles about theories, fish, Tower 7, all these sorts
Tower
of things.
7. Investigate.
I don't know.
And he was pretty fired up. He seemed like a pretty genuine guy. It was pretty fun. I don't know. It's kind of cool being. It's cool being around someone important and seeing like all the security detail, and then being in the office, be like, I'm going to check the west door for the baddies.
Yeah, they're looking for pyres. That's of course, the politician's worst nightmare is during a public appearance, somebody throwing a pie in their face.
Or a shoe.
And of course, that's part of the training, I'm sure, you're being a bodyguard to a politician. Your training is just blocking off shoes and pies. And
that's it.
That's all
it's
it
not
is. That's
shooting
all it
down
is.
the range.
No. There's no gunplay involved. It's pretty much
it's 90% of the time you're following a guy who is just talking, and then over a 3-month span, which is your training, 4 times someone tries to throw a pie, and you better get your body in front of it.
You better get ready for it because
you better always be ready for it. It's not better be ready. It's always be ready for it.
Always be ready. That's the politician bodyguard mantra.
Be ready for the pie in the face.
Or shoe.
We got a cherry on the West Wing. All units respond.
They're talking into their sleeves. I've never seen that technology, but I get it. It just seems odd.
I don't think they were armed though. That's the only thing, because everyone asked me they're probably hiding guns. I'm like, they were wearing just dress shirts tucked into their pants with a blazer. Like, unless they have it at their foot,
Oh yeah,
like,
a little sock gun. Like one of those, like a little mini one.
Just one shot.
Exactly. Or they all have their hunting knives like strapped to their calf.
I think one of them on their back though, I can't tell if it was Kevlar or a cutting board to possibly deflect pies. One of the two. Yeah.
That's a good point. A lot of people think that politicians and bodyguards are wearing bulletproof vests. No, it's actually just a chopping block.
Just for those special occasions.
Exactly. So if a pie does hit it, of course, we all know cutting boards, that's where you're cutting pies. So that's where you would want the pie to land.
Yeah. So overall, pretty cool experience. Security detail. There's also 2 undercover OPP officers outside, constantly waiting in a indiscreet car. It's like, oh, I wonder who those 2 people sitting in just with their car running. It's all black SUV. Like, come on, guys.
That all black SUV could
that's
that
weird.
Be?
That's crazy. Like, I've never seen that. Pretty cool though. And then he went to Waterloo Brewing after that and just fucking got pissed drunk.
Yeah,
No, he had one
you
beer
know
over
this.
there.
You know this for a fact, or you?
Yeah, it's in the news.
You were following the Ford motorcade.
Well, our associate, I can't remember his number. He called me afterward and said that he was picking up beer from the brewery and that his car was leaving. But it was also in the local news that he was showing up to Waterloo Brewery.
Oh, that's
probably
fun.
not to get pissed drunk, but more likely to just have one beer to celebrate Phase 3 indoors.
There you go.
I was thinking about this because we're in Phase 3 now, and I had a friend up this weekend, actually an investor of ours who was hoping to book a meeting with us on the golf course, Mr. Alex Park. He's hoping all three of us could get on the course, so I will discuss that offline with you.
Maybe even a fourth. Maybe this could be the first 2 season a pod sweepstakes. Like you call in, you email in to be the foursome in the in the upper stakes. I think this could be fun.
That reminds me, I have a free on Kijiji that I was going to post. I have something for free, but we might wait till next episode because it's like, now what? We're already 23 minutes in.
Well,
what do you think,
Cam? That's a great. I think that's what you call a preview. You just previewed something, kind of. But it's like in a weird time. It's like it would be like you're watching an episode of Lost, and then during a commercial break, they're previewing next week's episode of Lost, but you haven't even finished this week's episode of Lost. Or 24, or House, just any of those shows that you watch.
Can't think outside the box when you're inside the box,
Did John Locke say that? I don't
know who that is.
Lost. Oh my God.
I didn't watch it. Again, just more of a sports guy. Speaking of sports, back to baseball on Thursday. I'm in a league.
Wow, Cam, you're playing sports. Your train of thought is all over the place. I'm just I'm wrangling you in like a dog.
You gotta pull
like
me
a
in.
dog with some cattle. But you're back playing baseball, which is great. Are you playing hardball, fastball,
softball?
The one where you windmill underarm pitch? Which one's that?
It's the one where you underhand it and you try and lob it up and then it hits that back plate.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool one.
And then I'm just gonna hip dingers. I just chew so much tobacco, and then just yell slurs while I'm on the bench, which will be socially distanced, I imagine.
Interesting.
Be like, I throw a cutter on that one, eh, boys? Like, you got hands like a fish out there, left-hander. Left fielder?
But I guess that's technically a slur. I don't know. When you said it, I thought you were.
You thought I was saying
you were gonna
bad words,
like actually bad things, not just kind of hey, we want a pitcher, not a belly.
Yeah, not a belly itcher. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do one of those.
One of those classics. That sounds great, Cam. It's gonna be nice to have a lip of skull again. I think that's something that's
maybe some grizzly. Oh,
some grizzly. Shout out to Grizzly.
Big shouts out to Grizzly.
Shout out to Grizzly chewing tobacco. When you want tobacco in your mouth, you grab the Grizzly.
Grab the Grizzly.
Grab the Grizzly.
Grab the bear by the ears.
Grab the bear by the fur. And pet him.
The bear by the fur. They like that.
They like that, I've been told. Yeah, go ahead and try it.
I've been told they like that. Well, plowing ahead here, I got a little game for you, Cam. That's going based off of last week's game that we played, which was the... if the listeners didn't tune in, it was the March Madness edition of Ron Jeremy films, which I learned later on that he was canceled, but for the purpose of the show, he was not.
Oh, no. I didn't know he was canceled. I mean, I've never seen any of his work.
We didn't know. We didn't know. So it was okay.
We didn't know.
Just like the Kevin Spacey. He just became president and me watching House of Cards.
Oh, congratulations, Kevin Spacey.
Thank you. Oh, to him.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying you've done quite a bit of work watching the television show.
President Underwood, baby, let's go.
Let's go. So, to do on that, I picked the. We're doing a little March Madness bracket
Cam,
for the. What?
No, keep going.
The sauciest names for businesses. So these are real businesses in different places that each have a little bit of a saucy name, as you'll see to them, just like Ron Jeremy films. So, are you ready, Cam?
Shout out to Anal Attraction, of course.
Shout out to Anal Attraction.
Anal Attraction, the cover of Fatal Attraction, the Glenn Close, Michael Douglas movie. We can presume.
Michael Scott. first on the bats is we have up to bat Budget Burials, Cheaper and Deeper, a burial service from Nebraska, versus Egg Slut, a restaurant in Las Vegas and Nevada. Or sorry, Las Vegas and Los Angeles, and possibly coming to Toronto.
Ooh, wow, an Egg Slut.
Egg Slut.
What was the first one again?
Budget Burials, we do it cheaper and deeper.
But it's called Budget Burials?
Yeah. But the slogan's what brings it all together.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that was the only one with the slogan, just so you know.
Okay.
But I just love that one.
See, yeah, these are both great names, both pretty saucy too. You know, Cheaper and Deeper would be a nice would I feel like would also work for be a good tagline for Egg Slut. I feel like they would both kind of work.
Egg Slut.
Egg Slut. I'm gonna have to go with Egg Slut on this one because they know what they are. And
some couple egg sluts.
And you got to respect a company that knows what they're doing. Just I bet it's greasy breakfast too. It's some greasy shit.
Oh, you know it. So apparently it's an established diner that the guy uses eggs in many recipes which don't conventionally ask for eggs.
Oh, that's
and that's why he got the famous name. He himself is the Egg Slut.
Oh, he's the Egg Slut.
He's the
there's
egg
an
slut.
actual Egg Slut. I was wondering if like it was, because what I think like end in Finnish is slut, like it's spelled SLUT.
Oh, maybe.
So I was trying to think.
Yeah,
I was trying to think if it was a thing like, is it from another language, and then there's like it's like a play on. I don't know. But Egg Slut, I think you can walk ahead through the second round.
Second round coming up. First of all, coming in from the region of Penang, Malaysia, the Golden Shower Restaurant, a fine dining establishment, versus coming from Dymchurch, England, an AC service company called Stiff Nipples Air Conditioning Service.
Oh my God, the Golden Shower. The Golden Shower seems like one of those. I get
Things
what
you're into?
I get what you're saying. I get that it's like the golden sun. I get that's what we're doing. And then somebody, I like to think too that maybe somebody like put up the sign and then realized it.
A little bit lost in
like,
translation.
We already spent the money on the
We
fucking.
spent
We
the
spent the money on
trademarks
the
out.
fucking sign. Oh my
Yeah.
God, we made the T-shirts. We have the napkins. They all say Golden Shower. But what was the other one? Stiff Nipples AC repair.
Stiff Nipples Air Conditioning Service.
Stiff Nipples Air Conditioning Services. I mean, what? Yeah, that one just makes the most sense. Another again, you know, just like the Egg Slut. The Egg Slut knows who he is. He's banging. He's banging all these eggs into all these different recipes, and Stiff Nipples is no different. Like, if you want your air conditioner to be so cold that your nipples are constantly erect, diamond cutters. That's what we used to call them. Stiff Nipples, you're going on through.
All right, Stiff Nipples moving ahead in the bracket here. Next up, from your Toronto area, Aurora, Canada, Mammoth Erection, a construction company. Versus from Riviera, California, another construction company. Your team, Manhole Adjusting.
Man. I like that manhole adjusting. It's like that's what their job was. They're like, oh, we deal with manholes. And it's like, okay, that's funny. just like a bunch of guys who started this company. They're like, manhole. That's pretty funny. You know, you go in and out of manholes all day.
Love it.
You
just doing some adjustments on some manholes.
Exactly. Open it up. Smells bad.
It writes itself. But then again, a mammoth erection.
Mammoth erection. Like, if you want if you want something built large and built well and strong and sturdy, there's no other larger mammal than a mammoth that you would think of. You know, it's large, burly. It has its tusks. It's like an elephant on steroids. And there's no problem with the word erection. Erection. It's perfect in this case. Mammoth erection. They're taking it.
So Mammoth Erection's getting the win.
They're getting the win.
Yeah. Erection. All right. So our last matchup here. This one is a crane rental agency from Hazelwood, Missouri. Introducing Big Boy Steel Erection.
Okay, another erection.
Versus the underdog contracting group out of Pontiac, Michigan, the STD Contractors.
I bet the people of STD Contractors were they must have crept in there right after we started calling them STIs. Right? They're not diseases,
Yeah,
they're
they probably got a
infections.
little
It
bit late to the
encompasses a
game.
little bit more. Maybe. I like to think too that this is like that STD was like just contractors. That's what it is. Is that what it's called? What's it called?
STD Contractors.
Yeah, STD
And then versus
Contractors.
Big Boy Steel Erection.
You're
Big Boy Steel Erection.
Exactly. You're contracting STDs. I like to think that it's like a mom and pop business that's like their names. It's Stephen, Timothy, and Dalton. And they want to do their parents proud. And DTS also sounded weird.
Sterling, Thomas, David. Yeah.
Or whatever I said, Stephen, Tim, Dalton, whatever I said.
Yeah.
STD Contractors, you're taking
Sound like
it.
a wrestling move.
What? An STD?
Taking it. Okay. You taking the STDs.
Yeah.
No STIs in this business, only STDs. Moving ahead, we're going to the second round where we have the dirtiest thing in your fridge, Egg Slut, versus Stiff Nipples Air Conditioning.
Egg Slut and Stiff Nipples, two people who know who they are, what they do, and the service they can provide for people. Like, do you want eggs just running around town? Or do you want nipples so hard that, or like an air conditioner so good that your nipples are always hard? And you know what? I think because of the summertime, I'm gonna have to go with Stiff Nipples Air Conditioning.
Stiffy gets the win. Okay, and looking at our other semifinal, we have Mammoth Erections versus STD Contractors.
Damn, Mammoth Erections. Mammoth Erections.
From your hometown as well, though. Don't forget that.
From Newmarket?
Aurora. Not really.
Fucking very. Do you tell people you're from Orangeville?
I was saying from Ontario.
Oh, okay.
The other one is
I'm
from,
just saying them fight.
The other one's from Michigan.
I'm just saying them fighting words. If you're like Aurora, Newmarket, that's the same shit. Oh,
that's
man.
like. It's like if someone asked me, like, what do you guys think of people from Fergus? I'm like, I think they're a shit hockey team. That's it.
Exactly.
Like, what about the town? I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Or they're like, or they say, Cam, weren't you born and raised in Mono?
Hell no, I was not born and raised in.
Yes. Oh, Jesus Christ, Cam, you
Mono.
just spit on the floor. Wow, Jesus. Okay, Mammoth Erection, maybe that's what's going to hold them back, because honestly, fuck people from Aurora. There, I said it. STD Contractors. You're getting the squeaky win because the commissioner likes you. Or the commissioner hates the other guys.
Wow, powerful. Mm-hmm. And that leads us to our finale, people. If you guys have been following, we have from, you heard it right here, from Dymchurch, England, the people who are keeping your ACs cold enough to cut diamonds in the summertime. We got Stiff Nipples Air Conditioning, who are coming in hot, versus the mans who fix everything except for an STI. It's the STD Contractors, coming hot out of Pontiac, Michigan.
Yeah, Pontiac, Michigan. I like that. You know what? So what were I's but not D's before? Like, what did we add to the list of sexually transmitted things?
I think it was just because people didn't want to like associate with a disease because they're like, diseases are bad. It's just an infection that goes away. And you're like, come on, like
I take 4 of
STD
these
just
and then
rolls
they go
off the
away.
tongue.
STDs does roll off the tongue pretty well. STIs, it feels a little
STIs.
wordy. Again, like the words.
It sounds like
fill
a
up my
type of
mouth.
car.
Yeah, the
I
Pontiac.
got the Subaru STI, you know?
The Pontiac STI. God damn it! They've ruined 2 acronyms. Fuck those. No, I don't want to say that. We're getting a little too personal. I'm holding that against the STD people, not against the STD contractors who have this little mom and pop shop operation has fought a heavy battle, and they're on opposite sides of the planet, on the other side of the opposite sides of the ocean. Stiff nipples, air conditioning, and the STD contractors. You know what? They won my heart. They won my heart as soon as I heard their name, and I think they have the most backstory. If this was a final, they would have had the most time and most slow-mo edits leading up to this final matchup. The STD contractors.
Wow.
You win.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. That was an unexpected turn. The STD contract was the big win. They got the clap. They got gonorrhea. Mm-hmm. They got the herpes. They got everything that's under the
hepatitis B.
The hepatitis. I don't know if that's a STD or STI though.
Oh, you think that's like something bigger?
That one, I think maybe the STDs are like it's kind of like the farm league for an STI.
Maybe. Yeah, because you think the big ones have their own categories. Like HIV, they're in their own league.
That's what I mean.
HIV,
like, is
AIDS,
that an
your own
STI
league.
or is that an STD?
Although it was something that could have been contracted sexually through sexual transmission. Right. You're right. That's the NFL. That's the MLB. STDs are like, AAA ball, maybe.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they're the Lansing Lugnuts.
The Lansing Lugnuts. Or another name of another place of another team.
The Las Vegas Area 51s.
Yes, the New Mexico. you know where Area 51 happened, right? Or is it?
Yeah, but that's the name. That's the name of the team.
Really?
That's the affiliate of the Blue Jays. Yeah, the Las Vegas Area 51s. And I believe so.
Now, don't quote me on this, but like Roswell, New Mexico, and Las Vegas, Nevada are probably they're probably far enough away that you could have come up with a different name. Right?
Apparently, they've changed their name recently. They used to be the 51s and the Las Vegas Stars before that, but now they're the Las Vegas Aviators. Boo! That sucks.
The Aviators?
Yeah, just stick with the 51s. Like, fuck, man. God, that's the best name ever.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Maybe not, but it's pretty good.
There's only a few number teams. You got the 49ers... The 76ers.
Yeah, but the Area 51s.
The 51s.
You know what I mean?
No, Area 50. That's
no, it's
too
not
wordy.
the 51s. It's the Area 51s.
That's too wordy.
What?
That's too wordy. The Las Vegas
it's
Area
fun,
51s. Though. Too much. What am I? What am I? How do you cheer it?
Oh, I'm an aviator. Look at me. I fly in the sky. I'm so interesting. You're boring.
Yeah, I knew a pilot, and he wasn't an exciting man. But that being said, he spends his life at 30,000 feet or whatever. Ooh, that sounds like...
I went to the danger zone.
Just like Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, which had a big comeback at the Manitoulin Island corporate retreat.
Yeah, and play for the boys specifically.
Yeah,
that was a great.
But we never played volleyball. We did some wrestling moves. But we never played volleyball.
Never played volleyball. Yeah, I think if we want to plan out a shot-for-shot remake of the volleyball scene from Top Gun, I think we would need a lot of athletic. It would
require
training.
me first to watch it.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of because they're jumping pretty high to spike that ball. But not only are they jumping high, they're doing it in jeans. So I think
really?
they're tight like 80s jeans too. This wasn't this must have been pretty difficult for these performers. I'm sure the net was a little bit lower.
Were they boot cut?
They would have been that that very light blue denim kind of look. Yeah, but their chest is just popping.
High waist?
Yeah, an 80s waist, that was like half an inch below your belly button, that kind of waist.
Yeah. Belt or no belt?
I can't
I feel like they're no belt
I can't
kind of guys.
specifically remember all the specific details, but yeah, I'm sure we'll have to lower the net a little bit so some of our jumps will, and then kind of film it from an angle.
They really pop on the screen. Yeah.
Exactly. So
yeah. So if we just put the camera at the lower, we have to follow it step by step how they did it, but we can make it happen. I don't see anything holding us back from making millions of dollars remaking this scene.
I don't think that could happen, but all you need is a beach, a volleyball net, a volleyball, and 4 people to film, or unless we could play both parts, maybe, but we're both teams.
I think we could.
Yeah, you and I are both teams. I'm sure there was also like a Vaseline budget that will need to be taken into account because there's a lot of they're sweating.
Yeah.
They're sweating out there, They're looking glossy.
We should probably get a dumbbell budget too, just so we can like get a pump on beforehand. And shit.
Oh yeah, you have to. Everybody's just working out immediately off camera, just ready to go in.
And don't even do a goddamn squat to save your life because it's all upper body work.
It's all upper body. That's what That's what Vin Diesel does. Keeps a couple dumbbells beside the camera, and he's just pumping when they're like setting up some lights.
Or they're like, okay, Vin, can we get that? Can we get that again? He's like, okay.
Drops him back down, and then he's like, what?
If you watch him on screen, his arms are consistently lifting up because they're used to having dumbbells in it.
Yeah, his elbow it oddly hinges in this way where it's like muscle memory. His arms ghost lift, which is what it is. Where they say like if you when you're on a
press
boat,
your hands against a wall.
I was gonna say you're on a boat for a long period, or you haven't been for a long period of time, and then you're on one, and when you're off the boat, you can feel the waves crashing against you, or when you're at the beach or something like that. It's kind of like that, but with dumbbells for him. So he's constantly feeling
just getting
a pump, even though he's not.
That's a sick life. I wish I had that life.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Hey, I'm my name is Vin Diesel. I don't fight with The Rock in my contract. I don't lose any fights. I'll tell you that much.
No, don't lose any fights. I would love to be at a point of fame where you could request that.
Where you don't lose any fights?
Yeah.
I'd love to be at the point where I could request it and it would get approved because I always request it in my work contracts and it never gets approved.
It never gets approved. You're always losing in your fights.
Well, it's just that they say we don't want to have any fights here. I go, I understand that. But what I'm saying is that I want a stipulation that if we get in a fight, I win.
Just like if a fight is going to happen,
if a fight breaks out in the office, everyone should know who takes a knee.
The only time that they break their no getting beat rule is if it's somebody that has some kind, like if they're fighting somebody who has a, like in the Hobbs and Shaw movie, like Idris Elba is like a bionic man, he has enhanced muscles and steel bones and all that kind of shit. So he punches The Rock one time and The Rock falls over. But it's like it's okay because he's technically not human. The Rock is still allowed to be human, but it's okay if he gets punched down by a non-human. Does that make sense?
He's still Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
So he can't lose a fight to a human.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. No.
Right. Okay, got it.
You can have a fight. Yeah, you can have a fight that goes on for a long time.
And no one wins or loses.
And nobody wins or loses. That's also fine.
Yeah.
But just like Vin Diesel, you'll never see Vin Diesel like knocked out on his back. Yeah, tapping out, whatever it might be. Like that's not how he does it.
Did you watch the fights last night for the UFC?
I did not. No, but they were live from Fight Island, which I hear is more of just a little peninsula or something. It's not.
They were pretty sick.
It's not the Survivor-esque theme that we were kind of hoping for, but there were fights, and yeah.
Yeah, it was a big sports weekend, actually. There was fights on Saturday night, and then I watched Formula 1 this morning at like 9 a.m. It was great.
Of course, 9 a.m. and that's like probably 4 p.m. Europe time.
Whatever time there, yeah.
Whatever time they are.
Well, let's unless you have anything else going on, Crazy. I think we got one more game to play before we let these listeners go back to work, because you should only be listening to this on your lunch break and never be doing anything else with it, and only doing it in times where you're not supposed to be working. Never when you're working. Yes,
full attention is needed for something like this. If you're cooking food, that's a no. If you're
sit here and listen patiently.
Yeah, yes, very much so. You sit down in a chair or sit down, and then turn it on, because this is the radio. Picture a quaint 1950s household waiting by the radio to listen to Orson Welles tell another tale of science and fiction.
That's a different guy than the guy who wrote 1984, right?
Yeah, that's the author of 1984 is George Orwell.
Close.
Similar. They have the
Very
or.
close.
They have the or there. No, Orson Welles penned the great War of the Worlds. Whose radio?
What was the other book that was like 1984, but it was something about worlds?
You're thinking Brave New World by
Brave New World
by Aldous Huxley.
Would you recommend that book or no?
I'm sure. I read it. That was like my grade 10 independent study unit book. So I don't really recall much of it. I certainly got through it. Yeah, it'd be probably worth a reread. Wow.
I reread Catcher in the Rye, and fuck, that book is boring.
Yeah,
but
I think
we digress.
You may have mentioned that on a previous show, or maybe you mentioned it when we were at the retreat. Yeah, also not a big Holden Caulfield guy. That's just personally.
Big what?
Just not a big Holden Caulfield guy.
Holden Caulfield, the protagonist
of the book you read.
Yeah.
Oh my! How immediately after you read that book did it all just leave your brain? Like, were you on chapter 5 and you already forgot chapters 1 through 4? Because if you're having a tough time,
a lot of times,
if you have a tough time getting through one movie, especially like a good movie, like Once Upon a Time, I can only imagine that books is just a nightmare for you.
Books is all about completion. Not about enjoying it.
Just like life, as in sex, as in reading books.
Life
it's all about
you just go until you die.
It's all about finishing, not enjoying. Get this over with. Let's get this over with, please.
Get it over with. We got another meeting in 10 minutes, so let's keep.
I don't want to pretend that I like reading, so let's just finish this off.
Let's finish this off. Well, that brings us to our next game, which everybody knows is a game where we guess whether the state of Ohio is really a state, or if it's in Ohio, which means it's not really a state. Also known as...
You're on a roll.
Headline or yes and I.
Hey. Headline or asinine. Headline or asinine.
With a yes in representation for Yas Island, where Fight Island is. Cam, tell me this. Is this a headline or not?
That's a great intro. That's a great intro for those of you who don't speak Cam LeClaire or the official. If you haven't purchased your official 2-season a pod encyclopedia dictionary.
When are we getting merch?
Thesaurus. There's a new thesaurus going out. Ohio or no Ohio, headline or asinine. 3 headlines back and forth. Are they real or are they fake? We don't know. Jesus Christ, Cam. You're making these morning guys look fantastic. I wonder what they're... I certainly don't want to be coming to the 2 Seasons Pod studio at 2:30 a.m. when they start their morning drive show.
They start their interviews at 2:30.
Yes, they start interviews at 2:30. They warm up at about...
They get the worst guests.
That's why they get the worst guests. Literally the only people because
and R. Kelly live recordings.
Because we here at 2 Season Pod, of course, we have been accepting a lot of other shows. Of course, the Kim Mitchell Hour that follows us. Somebody else precedes us. I can't remember who.
Chris D'Elia, he does a hour-long thing.
Yes, the hour-long of material that he's doing. He's working on his new stand-up special. It's going to be called My Super Sweet 16. Check it out on Netflix coming up soon. But these morning guys, we give them the beautiful time of between 2:30 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. That's when people are going to be on the road. That's when they're driving to work. That's when you're bringing your kids to school.
That's when they like it.
And that's when they like it. Cam,
that's when you take your bath.
that's when Cam's taking his bath, because as we all know, Cam also wakes up at 2:30 a.m. every morning to get his day started. Cam, you were going to give me a headline, though, so I'm just going to sit back and listen.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head on this one. Streetwear giant Supreme to work with Lowe's on shovel release.
Supreme and Lowe's, the collab we've been waiting for. Isn't that Supreme's whole deal, though? Like they'll just put their logo on anything and then people buy it. Isn't that kind of their shtick?
Yeah,
they're like,
that's kind of, they sold a brick and now the brick is worth like.
Exactly. It's sort of like look around your room and just what could you put Supreme on? And in theory, you could put Supreme on anything in your room. You're like, okay, I have a pen, so that could say Supreme. My water bottle could be a Supreme water bottle. I guess I have a laundry hamper over here, so that could say Supreme. So it doesn't sound that crazy.
Do you know who Virgil Abloh is?
He's a person, yeah.
He's the guy who did for the biggest references, he's the guy who made the Yeezys and helped with
doesn't he have
Kanye's release.
Doesn't he have a handbag that just has like a word on it? It's like that's his
he does a lot of that kind of stuff. His brand is Off-White.
That's what it was. Off-White, yeah.
He has a collab with IKEA where he has a rug and it says wet grass on it.
Well, there you go, Cam. You may have just given away the answer right there. If someone's going to put Off-White on whatever the hell you just said, surely someone's going to put Supreme on a hammer. That's asinine.
You got me.
But someone would buy it. Someone would buy it.
I'd fucking be all over it.
I don't own any Supreme.
I'd get in line for that drop.
I don't own any Supreme. Maybe they can start making pads of paper. Something like that. Okay, Cam, you ready for this next one? Headline or asinine. Scrabble players are removing racial and ethnic slurs from competition.
So they always say that movements start with small groups, but they have the loudest voice. My question is, how small is the Scrabble players group? Because I can't imagine it's more than 50 people who are the top level players of it. And if so, are they the people protesting, or is it just people who look in the book and they're like, I wonder which words it is, honestly. And we don't really support saying all those words on Two C's in a Pod. We're a racially charged podcast. Is that the right way to say it?
You said two things I'd rather you hadn't have just said. But Cam, keep going. I think they know that you're a nice guy.
What was my thought? I'm curious what words they have in there. I'm going to go ahead and say that there are people complaining about it because there's probably like little things that you're like, I guess that could be considered off color. So I'm going to go say a headline on that one.
Cam, get out your Scrabble because that's a headline. Of course you got it. We've all played Scrabble. We all know the types of how to play. You put down a word, right? No proper words. That's like the thing. You can't put somebody's name or the name of a company, that sort of things. And this past Wednesday, the North American Scrabble Players Association announced that they're removing all slurs and offensive words from the official word list that can be used at officially sanctioned tournaments. The association is actually pretty big, though. Like when they play World Championship Scrabble, or in Championship Scrabble in North America, they're running through this Players Association. So they're taking out, just picture a slur. They've taken it out. The list is pretty comprehensive, and a lot of shit I don't want to say here on the air. However, there was a lot of blowback. Apparently, a lot of course, some members threatened to leave the association even if a single word was removed. Others threatened to leave the association if any offensive words remained. There were a lot of good and bad arguments on both sides. So these are official to the tournament rules. So folks at home, Cam, if you find yourself playing Scrabble and you with a group of friends, and let's say you have a couple G's, an N, an E, an R, and an I, just spell the word ginger. You're still allowed to spell the word ginger.
There we go. Thanks for clarifying. That's the word I was thinking of. I don't know if anyone else was thinking of any other words.
That's of course. But for some reason, they did not take ginger as off the slur list, because I guess it still is like an actual thing, like a root, ginger root. So that one might be hotly debated in your Scrabble circles. Let us know. Let us know if these are affecting your Scrabble games. Of course, twoseasonspod@gmail.com. Do you have questions or answers about a fetish shit? You know where to reach out. That's 2dsinapod@gmail.dom. That's all we got.
Headliner asinine: Russia sent trained dolphins to war in Syria.
Trained dolphins? Now that's the scariest part, right? They don't they say dolphins are the smartest mammal? I'm sure they're smarter than us.
They do.
We just found out how to get out of the water, but there's also a lot of water. So I mean, who really has more space, us or them? See, this is the I think this was an Austin Powers bit.
It was with the lasers on their head.
Or maybe it was sharks. It might have been sharks with lasers.
It was sharks.
I don't
right.
have a problem with training dolphins to do your bidding. Just, how do you, what's the end goal? Is it so they can nip at your butt a little bit when you're swimming? Or are you going to attach some kind of weaponry and remote time it to, are we strapping dynamite to dolphins and then having them swim to a boat and then they just explode? That sounds like something Russia would do. Of course that sounds like something Russia would do. I'm going to say that's a headline.
That is a headline, and it has been found by satellite images over top of a training base in Syria, where they believe the dolphins will likely be used to counter enemy divers who might try and sabotage ships in the port. They might also be used to retrieve objects from the seafloor or perform intelligent missions.
Jesus Christ. Okay, they're doing some recon now.
Yup.
That's scary.
Pretty wild.
That's scary, because all they need to do is then train the apes, and then next thing you know, the animal kingdom, they'll figure out how to take us over. They just need a couple voices. And the dolphins and apes... Pigs are also super smart. I think between, the dolphins kind of cover the sea, the apes cover the jungle, and then the pigs cover sort of the rest of it, the suburbs.
I think the saying is 100 years from now, our tools will be, or remember how great the technology is right now, 100 years from now, our wars will be fought with sticks and rocks.
That is true. That is a saying that a lot of people say. You see it a lot on gravestones too. A lot of girls.
The saying channels.
A lot of girls have been getting it tattooed on their rib cage in a nice cursive font.
Rib cage.
Yeah. It's very important these days. Cam, are you ready for your next headline?
All right. Hit me up, brada.
Michigan jewelry store buries $1 million of treasure in a statewide treasure hunt.
$1 million of treasure. $1 million. That is interesting, because I don't know why they would do it, but I love the concept of it. What's the catch is the real question. I'm trying to think of a feasible way they could do this. Maybe it's a voucher or some bullshit. It's like, get $1 million off after you spend $6. I just don't think it's realistic, because I just can't see them giving up $1 million of things and just creating pandemonium to try and find that shit. So I'm going to go ahead and call asinine.
Cam, you're going to wish you didn't say that because that's a headline happening out of Washington Township in Michigan, where a jewelry store, J&M Jewelers, owned by Johnny and Amy Perry, is having to close their doors because they're not making any money due to current circumstances. However, they thought to themselves, why not go out with a bang? So they've thought to themselves, we're gonna bury approximately $1 million of the remaining jewelry, gold, diamonds, etc., around Michigan. So here is the catch: everything's buried from Detroit, between Detroit and the Upper Peninsula. There's multiple places to find it. They've buried treasure in approximately $4,000 values all throughout. All you have to do is pay. So you pay $50 for a ticket, which gives you a map. Like, you get the map for $50. And of course, they're going to use that money to, probably just move on with their lives. They've owned the store.
What's the map give you, though?
The map will give you like clues to where the treasure is.
I'm just curious, like how detailed the clues are. Like, is it all bullshit riddles?
Well, if you want to know,
like, if it's treasure you seek, then down at the creek is a peak.
Well, if you would like to know more, you can pay $49 for a ticket for the chance to participate in this treasure hunt, which is being called Johnny's Adventure Quest. Everything starts on August 1st, and of course, if things don't get found, they buried each piece of treasure with a GPS tracker, and when you find it, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. You can give it to a loved one. You could sell it back to them. Maybe you could, give it to your neighbor, put it up her butthole. You can do whatever.
They need to have more than Ontario. I don't think it'd be allowed, though, is the only problem.
Why not?
I feel like there's bullshit.
No,
there's gaming commissions and shit like that just restrict everything.
Who knows? What's that app that it's like a take a penny, leave a penny, but you go on a hike and do it? Doesn't that exist?
Oh, that's geocaching.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I don't think it's exactly that.
That exists, but imagine if you opened one of those.
But that's not for a lot for a dough, though.
I guess what would stop you from burying your own money? Like, is that illegal?
Taxes.
Or is that...
Well, you remember back in
okay, but let's say
5 years ago when the guy built a tunnel and then he got in trouble because they were like, "Is this a terrorist?" And then he's like, there's nothing actually wrong with building tunnels, but we recommend against doing tunnels all over Toronto."
Or I was gonna say, so because they're burying their own shit. So let's say one day you're walking through the park with your new dog. That's gonna happen, and she starts burying at a little spot, and you're like, "Oh, get out of there!" And you find $4,000 worth of diamonds, gold, necklaces, etc. Do you have to do something with that? In theory, you could
probably
just keep
by
it.
law, but no one's ever gonna find it. You probably have to get taxed on it. Yeah.
Do you have to get it if you find something on the ground that is taxable findings? Like, where do you write? I've done my taxes a bunch, and I've never seen that little bracket of like, did you find anything on the ground that was over this price?
Over $50.
Did you find more than $50 on the ground this year? That's taxable income, baby. That's taxable income.
Because technically they shouldn't, because they've probably already been it's already been taxed. But maybe. Next up on the docket here, police use drones to monitor nudity at Minnesota beach.
To monitor nudity. Well, I mean, I guess that's why you have nude beach. I like to think that this is happening at a nude beach, and these were really just like two, teenage horny cops.
So we just
wanted to see some boobs, wanted to see some butts, and it's weird when as soon as you have the drone element to it, like if you were looking on a bluff and having to look over to get a chance at seeing a dong, that would be tough. But the drones, you can fly right in there. You can probably zoom in. You can hover above the clouds, maybe, just where they can't see you. And you can get all those juicy dongs you want. Check them out, all those. Or maybe this is happening at a non-nude beach, and they're trying to enforce. No, okay, that sounds more likely. there's too much nudity at a non-nude beach. So now the cops are there to enforce it. So I'm gonna say I think that's the more likely option. So I'm gonna say that's a headline.
That is a headline, and it is in a place where it's a secluded beach known for being a safe place to be comfortable. Its drone footage is only available to a very few members of the staff who are known for their confidentiality, blah, 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 blah. And they're catching people, or maybe they're catching less people than we think than they're actually seeing. They compared it to just having street cameras. I don't know. I think this is a little bit of a violation, but you know what? I don't make the laws around here.
Yeah, it's weird because the drone can fly in too. If you were at a park or if you were at a park or a beach and there was a camera on a telephone pole, you might say to yourself, "Okay, I'm just gonna not be around that telephone pole. Like I'll go somewhere else, outside of that view or whatever." But I guess they have to be primarily concerned with bottomless, right? Because you can be topless just walking around in a park or on a beach. I'm pretty sure they're concerned
you can be topless anywhere in Ontario.
I'm pretty sure they're concerned with downstairs business because maybe you don't want your 4-year-old Timmy checking out all seeing all these old man dongs swaying back and forth, right? These saggy just balls like that shit would traumatize a young child. Just old man saggy balls.
I would be.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Oh. You want to talk about it?
Gross.
Cam, I have one more.
Uncle Jerry.
Jesus Christ, Cam, it's not that kind of show. Cam, I have one more headline here for you. You ready for it?
Ready.
Here we go. Japanese amusement park asks roller coaster riders to scream from the inside while attending their parks.
Ooh, because I know you're not supposed to be screaming out loud these days. How do you scream from the inside, though? I think that just means that you're really sad and you can't talk to anybody. So don't know if they're advocating to stay silent and just hold in your pain, but that's sure what it sounds like. And based on what I know about Japanese culture, being emotional around other people is a no bueno. So I'm definitely going to say headline on that because they want people to repress their emotions.
Cam, you were right as rain on that one because that is a headline. This is happening out of the Fuji-Q Highland amusement park, which is near Tokyo, where that's pretty much, they've asked all of their future guests to please scream from inside your heart, and not out loud. Of course, it's to spread diseases from happening. However, you gotta watch this video. I'll post it It'll be posted in the description for the episode. It's an example of two people riding a roller coaster without screaming, and it's kind of funny. They're just stone-faced the entire time. They've got suits, and they're just completely silent on the Fujiyama roller coaster, which is the park's main attraction. It looks like it'd be pretty funny. But yeah, there you go. That's all I got. That's all I got for you.
That concludes another episode. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and do us one favor and tell one friend about this show if you found this enjoyable. And just like a pyramid scheme, eventually you will get paid. Thanks for listening.
Eventually you'll get paid. That's a good point. We're having a
pyramid scheme Saturdays.
A seminar at the Ramada Inn in a couple weeks where we hope to meet a lot of you to really help you achieve success. I think that's what the most important part is.
That's right. And never forget, before we go off, bigger forks lead you to eat less. I'm Cam LeClaire signing off. Next up is Kim Mitchell.
Kim, he's okay. We'll be right out. God, he's getting angry every time. Jesus Christ, Kim. Oh.
Continuing tonight on 2 C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your
two C's in a pod, 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 two C's just like two C's in a pod, because we're two C's in a pod, just like two C's in a pod, two C's in a pod at gmail.com.